Greetings everyone, welcome. Welcome to Cosmic Truth Transcendence, Embodying Your Multidimensional Self. The Cosmic Truth Conference is bringing together a masterful panel of New Earth visionaries who will share transformational, expanding, and liberating multidimensional wisdom. We are invited to transcend the profound meaning of our human existence and to embody our sovereign multidimensional cosmic selves so that altogether we create a potent force of collective liberation, ushering in the new earth. Thank you for being here with us. I am Anne Lise Anshaara, your host, and it's such a pleasure to welcome our guest, Vidya Fraser. Welcome, Vidya.
Thank you for having me.
That's awesome. Thank you. So let me introduce you to everyone.
All right.
Okay, I will start this. As an author, energy healer, and licensed transpersonal psychotherapist, Vidya has had a passion for exploring the phenomenon called the spiritual journey for over 50 years. Along with experiencing her own journey, she's also closely studied it, as well as those of her friends, colleagues, clients, and students. In addition, Vidya has studied with many spiritual teachers from both Western and Eastern traditions and learned about spiritual journeys from those perspectives. The present focus in her work is helping people to see the spiritual nature of the transitional times we are currently living in. Times of shifting to the dramatically higher frequency known as the fifth dimension. Vidya has published 5 books about this shift: Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, Ascension, Embracing the Transformation, Triumph of the Light, The Ascension Lightworker Guide, and Living Free in 5D. She also offers remote quantum healings, coaching sessions, presentations, and YouTube podcasts, and you can find her on her website, vidyafraser.com. So, Vidya, I'm very excited today about our topic. So, we'll be discussing navigating the chaos as we transition into the fifth dimension. So, let's jump in. Maybe could you tell us to start with, why is the transition from 3D to 5D so difficult? What's actually going on?
You know, this is so much bigger a leap in consciousness than I think any of us who've been aware of this transition, for any length of time. It has just gotten really, really intense for a lot of us. And we've got to realize that it requires awakening on a lot of different levels. First of all, just spiritually, just becoming aware of how large we are, how powerful we are as beings. We're not just this mind body being that has a spiritual life. That's something that's very temporary within the bigger reality of who we are. So just that is really huge and requires a lot of time and a lot of shifting in consciousness. And then there's the emotional aspect of this. And I think a lot of us didn't quite realize just how challenging this was going to be. All that we have to heal, all the 3D programmings and woundings and traumas that are now coming up and needing to leave. They are in the process of leaving, but we become very aware of them when they come up, and it's very challenging. And then, of course, there's the mental awakening that also has to happen, being awake to what's really been going on the earth for millennia. And it's just huge for a lot of people who are becoming aware of what humanity has had to deal with, what's leaving and what we are needing to get used to, new freedoms, but also the challenges that are now being thrown at us, from the external world. Just that alone is so huge for people. And so, and then there's the physical level, the body has to keep up in frequency along with the consciousness. So a lot of, aches and pains and illnesses that we've had are again arising, and that they are in the process of leaving, but in that process there's a lot of changing going on, and it's just really, really hard for people, especially those of us who are in our elder years, so we've got aging going along with this ascension process as the physical body tries to get lighter, and keep up with the consciousness. So, like I say, I think a lot of us, I've been talking about this for the last 13, 14 years. In those earlier days, it was, oh, we're moving into 5D, and, oh, it'll be so much more beautiful. And, we knew it would be a little bit hard, but I think, we're really seeing now what it's taking. It's a huge, momentous leap in consciousness, and a lot has to leave. And so there's a lot of loss also that people are experiencing, a lot of emptiness, a lot of, shifting, and, not recognizing who we are. It's a whole identity shift that's actually taking place. And then all of this is happening within the chaos that's happening in the world, And in some countries, it's even more challenging than others, what's going on. So anyway, that's my answer. Why it is so difficult. It's not just this, oh, we're going to go into a lovely new world where we're all free and happy and blissful. It's a process.
Yes, and when you were speaking, I was also feeling that it's a process both individual and collective. So it's also a matter of navigating this.
Yes, it is. And a lot of light workers are very empathic also. So they pick up the collective, the energies going on in the collective. Sometimes you might think like, oh my God, what is this thing? Oh, it's my something or other. What is it about me? And it's not even about you, it's about a whole group of people who've just been bombed, or, all kinds of stuff that's going on out there. And we're picking it up, and, our bodies are having to deal with it. So you're right. It's a personal journey, but it's also being part of the collective. It's both at once.
And so what would be some ways, could you share some ways that would make the transition easier, smoother, and more serene?
Yeah, right. One of the things that I find that really helps me is trying to keep the big picture in mind. As our own dramas are going on, and sometimes they're pretty big, but often they're just, temporary things that really push us, in different ways. And you can get into thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. Oh, this is just awful. I don't want to do. If you just move into, oh, we're in transition on a, in very exciting times. I mean, really think about it. Every 26,000 years or so, this type of thing happens here. And we're living here now. And we are part of it. And we are really helping to move it in that direction, those of us who are waking up to this. And so just keeping that going, that there, a certain amount of excitement and a bigger picture can really help, get you out of your, oh, what am I going to do about this? And that's happening again. Just rise into the bigger picture, and, do your best not to fall into fear. We all know these things, but we just need to be reminded. And a lot of it is about being focused on our personal healing during these times. Just really don't get caught up in what's happening out there so much. We got to keep aware. We want to be able to make good decisions about where we are, what's happening, what's being challenged. But, focus on what needs to be healed inside of you, and are you really loving yourself and everything you're doing and you're saying? Are you being authentic with what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what's real for you? And keeping your body healthy. Like I was saying, the bodies are really going through stuff here. Really focus on and getting enough rest and sleep. So often, even in the sleep state, we are working, we are doing things, either personally releasing stuff, going through stuff, or working with the collective in one way or another. And we've got to get that rest, really give that to ourselves. And another really simple thing that we all kind of know about, but forget how important it is move into gratitude. Like I said, it's such an old spiritual precept, but if you can just remember what you are thankful for, there's always stuff going on. You think, oh, thank God I still have that, or oh, this person in my life is so important. Thank you, thank you. It just lifts you, out of the pain and the struggle to just remember what is going well. And there are those periods of time I think we all have where incredible miracles are now happening. It's not just this death of the old world. There's the birth of the new world coming in. And, on the collective level, in certain ways, you can focus on that, but also in your own life, just realize, how much brighter you are, how much more awake you are, how much, more love comes up in your body, from time to time. It's just, focus on what is being born, the wonderful things. And, and that, of course, brings them in more and more often. Whatever you focus on, tends to come in more and more. So those are, some of the things I can just offer at this point. You may have ideas too. I think we all have to come up with what works for us, to keep us in that, bright and open consciousness that, is building, is forming more and more these days for all of us.
Yes, thank you for those guidance. And the topic of the summit is embodying our multidimensional self. So isn't it a way also to be serene, to be while we are embodied, fully embodied?
Yes. Yeah, I often use the term well-being. This is, when people ask about, what is 5D, how do you feel? A lot of people think they're going to just be in, fantastic, incredible joy all the time. That's a state of being that comes and goes. But my experience of what 5D in general is, it's a sense of well-being. It's like whatever is happening inwardly or outwardly, you're able to respond, with a certain amount of peace and balance. And joy does come up, and there is kind of a quiet bliss that you can be living with. And it's just the sense of being able to handle whatever, is going on with a sense of balance. And I think we're all dipping in and out of this. If you really watch it, I just say we're in high 4D, a lot of light workers at this point. And, and sometimes we drop down into 3D, when things are coming up. But more and more, you can find yourself everything's just sort of fine. Everything, you're just in the present moment, nothing much happening. There's a spaciousness. You realize that you really are this open space in which things are just happening. Thoughts are coming through, emotions arise, but you're this vast spaciousness, this pure consciousness. Mm-hmm. And there's a sense of oneness with it, right? You just feel a oneness with all of life, with all beings, all of nature. And there's love, and there's a love and a lightness in the consciousness. And there's a joy and an excitement and an aliveness. In 3D, you always have to kind of struggle to feel really alive and work through things. But you move into this 5D consciousness, and there's just this automatic, almost adventurousness. It's like, what's next? What more can I learn? What can I do? Whom can I meet? And you're more thinking with your heart. A lot of what I find is that the mind is just a lot more peaceful. There aren't outer frequencies that are impinging on you, and thoughts aren't constantly going on. It's just more this quiet awareness. And when thoughts come up, you can really kind of feel that they're coming out of the heart now more.
It's so massaging. I mean, when you speak, it's like, what you're saying, it really resonates as a softness and this 5D consciousness, I'm sure, of course. And so in what ways also, I mean, apart from what you described, how could we also maybe summarize what the 5D consciousness is? What are the differences as opposed to the 3D consciousness? You mentioned some of it: love, fear.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lack of shame and guilt and unnecessary fear. It's a calm and an openness and an awareness of yourself as light. Again, that's a concept, we all kind of hear and say, oh yeah. But, when you stop and feel into it, you realize who you are is light. And there's a lovingness with that light and joy that springs up. In 3D, you're basically listening to your mind, feeling your emotions and moving around with them and planning things and involved in a bunch of stuff. And in 5D, you can be really involved. You can be doing a lot of stuff, but there's a clarity. You're just present right here, right now. And reality just keeps unfolding. You don't even have to plan a whole lot of things. You just realize, oh, I'm in the next thing here. And you don't hold on to anything from before. You just move forward. You're fluid. You're just becoming present.
Yes, this energy of fluid is really this flow, cosmic flow that is all encompassing. It's beautiful to become even more aware of this, because that's what unites us all, even with all the realms. I mean, the realms are nature, animals, plants, also the realms of our cosmic families and galactic families.
Yeah, it's just all of life. There's just it's a connection, but at the same time, there's just a pure oneness. You are one with it. You're not even connected to it. You are it. There's just pure consciousness, pure awareness.
Yes.
And with that, of course, is that sense of freedom. Oh, it's just.
Yes, that's very liberating feeling. Yes, this freedom. You are right. It's something very, very present, I think, in these energies in the time we are living now. It's this notion of truth and freedom, which are really lifting us.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of it is the lifting off of what is not real.
Mhm.
You know, and we're being assisted by where the earth is now out in the skies. You know, these energies are coming in that you can just kind of ride. You know, it's a bandwidth. You know, you just keep turning the dial and say, oh, I'm here. You know, and then all of life just kinds of shifts. You know, there's a brightness to things, and aliveness, especially out in nature. You know, in 3D, you can enjoy the trees and how pretty the flowers are, but in 5D, you're out there and it's like, oh, everything's alive.
Mm.
And there's a joy with everything. You know, it's almost like everything, even things that aren't what we would call physically alive, seem happy. You know, even objects look happy. There's just this pure consciousness that's clear, and you can see reality. But you know, feels like for the first time you're actually seeing reality, and it's because so much of what's been unreal is falling away now from us and from the world itself, and we're seeing it as it actually always has been.
Yes, it's a true unveiling. We are finally seeing through.
Yes. That's why I say these are such exciting times, as awful as they are in some ways. And I do think it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better out there in the world, you know. But I really think we are ready for it. You know, those of us who know we are here for these times, you know, parts of us are opening up now that we didn't even know were there. Certain wisdoms, certain abilities, things come out of our mouth and we're just like, oh, how did I know that? A lot of people are experiencing that now. And that's so exciting. It's like it's this waking up that's happening. And to just pay attention to that just brings so much peace and calm. Just saying, right, yeah, there's all this awful stuff happening. And yeah, look at this.
Mm.
That awful stuff has to happen. You know, a lot of what's going on in the world has to collapse. It is just too corrupt, too dark. It's been controlled for too long, and it has to leave. But watch what's coming up after it. You know, something new consciousness, building new structures, new institutions.
Mm.
We just have to be here to go through this and to assist those people who are just waking up now. I mean, I think we all know, you know, some people who are going, oh my God, you know, they're just now doing what we've done in years past. And so we're there for them. You know, you don't want to overwhelm them with everything you know, but, you know, give them, you know, feed them some things, see how they do. If their eyes start glazing over, you know, you've done what you could for now. But when they keep asking more questions, you're just there. You've experienced what they're now experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our work is now, really.
Yes, that's so beautiful to think of this unity that we share, of course, with all the collective, the human collective, and all that we can bring in. And so we've been speaking about 3D, 4D, 5D. These are all aspects, different aspects of ourselves. So how would you define multidimensionality, and how would you define and how would you say it relates to our Earth journey?
It's a big question.
In one word.
Well, you know, we kind of throw around this word multidimensional like it's just sort of a something. it is huge, and it can be described in so many different ways. And some of us are discovering some parts of it. Other people are discovering other parts of it. I really think that there are other aspects of us living on other higher dimensions. And I don't think everyone would agree with me, but I've been discovering more and more, I think, what I have been calling my guides, not all of them, but a lot of my guides are actually higher aspects of myself.
Mm.
And, living in these other higher dimensions. And they're always there. They just get clearer and clearer. And as I embody my higher dimensional self more and more, as it moves into my body, and I really think this is what's happening now. In the past, we've been reaching up, to embody our higher self or higher selves. And now that is coming down inside of us. And that's why a lot of the lower, 3D debris has to clear out to make room for this. But it's coming down into us. And it's like this power we now have to embrace this higher wisdom, this knowing that we sort of had before, we had to reach out to find. Now it's here.
Mm.
And there's just all different awarenesses we can tune into, or when it's appropriate, it's just here. And, sometimes it's the wisdom of the past, sometimes it's the wisdom of the future that comes in. Sometimes it's just whatever, well, we don't know what is there. But it's the higher self, it's the I am presence. It's been called a lot of different things, but it's parts of us that have been living in other dimensions all along that are now gathering in this body. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's my experience of it at this point. We are so much bigger and broader than we know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why this notion of this embodying, I feel, is very, very key also in
Yes.
those times.
Yes, absolutely. We really have to stay in the body. And this is something for a lot of us. And, I'm one of those people who for many, many years wanted to get out of the body, experience all these things. And I just realized, there are frequencies now that if we are not in our body, there are frequencies that can come into our body and really interfere with the awakening process. We have to stay present here, call all of us into the body rather than trying to release it. It also really helps the body to heal and to get stronger and to adapt to the higher energies.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And how would you say that our relation that with our mother planet, how is she lifting us also, in fact?
I just love Mother Earth so much. We've all, talked about Mother Earth for so long that just more and more, I just feel her energy, how she loves us so much and how we really are a part of her. These bodies are our Earth in a lot of ways. And, she's going to have to go through a cleansing. I really feel that's part of what's ahead of us in these times where, it's been called the wall of water or the tsunami that may have to happen, polar shift, these things may have to happen. I mean, time will tell. But, she needs to make herself ready for this 5D experience that we're all moving toward also. And so the more we can connect with her, I think the easier it's going to be, first of all, on our bodies, but also in our consciousness, because we're doing this together. with her. And to just tune into the magnificent love that she has for humanity. It can just really shift your feeling about who you are.
Yes, when you speak about it, about her, it's such an embracing and loving feeling. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you've already touched a little bit on this, and you've just now said what you foresee or what could happen, but what would you say that as a collective, in your perspective, where do we stand now on this ascension journey?
It's a good question. I mean, it's a question we all have. How long is this going to take? How much worse is it going to get? And I do think it's changing from moment to moment because of every decision made by everybody, shifts us in one way or another. I do, and I've always felt we are on a positive timeline. That's been secure since 2012. I really just know that. As far as the huge shift is concerned, my understanding and what I really resonate with is the information that's out there about the sun needing to be in solar maximum. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be happening in a couple of years, 2025. So, that's sort of a general feeling I have. We have another year and a half, 2 years maybe, of all the stuff that needs to happen, that needs to leave, that needs to shift. But that, within another year or so, I do feel we're going to start feeling the energies coming in so strongly. There's going to be a joy that comes in that we're going to tune into. It's just going to start getting easier. And that there is going to probably be something, that's been called the event that will happen, a huge shift. And a lot will go on. I do think there will be mass arrests that will finally take place. They have to take place, something big has to happen out there. I do think a financial reset has to happen. There are some big things like that. And I do think, extraterrestrials will finally, be known on the planet. But I think we have at least another year. That's my sense at this point. Again, so much could change so quickly. And I do think that this fall, the next couple of months, hopefully, they show some real shifts in the outer world. We will see, and I'm in the US here. I don't even know where you're from. Where are you? Are you in Germany?
In Paris.
Oh, you're in Paris. Yeah. And a lot's happening in France, from what I can see, in Europe in general, of course, across the world. I mean, every country, there's something huge that is happening or about to happen. And here in the United States, I mean, there's so much that could happen in the next couple of months. We will see. But we just have to go with whatever's happening and keep in mind, this has to happen, as awful as it is, for a while, so that the earth can be cleansed of these, dark energies. So, like I say, anybody could make any kind of prediction, but it's crazy to try to really nail it. But my best guess at this point is another year and a half that we will really see a positive change coming or happening.
Well, thank you for this guidance. And well, Vidya, to conclude, would you like to share any final words of wisdom?
Oh, just keep going. I'll tell you, even if you're on your hands and knees, keep going. It is going to get better. And if you know you're here for these times, just really know how important just your presence is. Just be here, be present. You don't have to even say anything, do anything. Just your consciousness present on the earth now is assisting humanity. And just keep remembering, you are really, really important. Just keep going. Things pass, things change. Don't hold on to anything, just keep moving forward. That's the best I think that we can do at this point. And keep love in your heart, gratitude, love yourself. So many of us have to just keep on that one. You know, we've been so entrained to not love ourselves for one reason or another. So that's what I would really, really suggest.
Thank you, Vidya, for those beautiful words and this beautiful conclusion.
Yes.
Thank you for everything that you've shared. You are offering to our audience a free gift, which is a free copy of your book, paperback copy of your book, Ascension, Embracing the Transformation.
Right.
Could you say a bit about the book? And
yeah, it's the second book I wrote about ascension, and it goes into more about personal ascension, not so much about the bigger picture. And it just, I don't know, a lot of people really love it, and I happen to have extra copies of it, so I would really like to give them away. Just, you know, click on the link, you'll go to a page on my website, and it pretty much just tells you my email. Send me an email with your address and I will send it to you.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much for this beautiful free gift.
Yeah, lovely meeting you.
To everybody watching, yes, absolutely. Thank you for being here with us. I'm sure you received so much from this beautiful conversation with Vidya. And well, take care, everybody.
Yes.
And namaste. Thank you again, Vidya.
Namaste. Bye-bye.
Bye.